Hey, random people out there on the internet, it's me again. So I wanted to start this real quick with a disclaimer. I'm a hobbyist. I'm not a professional woodworker. I do this for fun. I share it so that people can, see what I do and perhaps pick up a tip or two. If you want full guidance on using your tools and doing safe operations with your tools, there are a ton of professionals out there providing some great content, and that is in fact where I pick up most of my tips and tricks. So today we're going to talk about routers. I posted on my Facebook group, which is called Old Man with a Saw, and I asked people if they wanted to see something in particular. One of my Facebook friends, we'll call him Tommy, commented that he'd like to see using routers and whatnot. Now that's a pretty deep subject because there are a number of different types of routers and they all use for various purposes. Every brand of tool manufacturer has at least 2, 3, or 4 different routers that you can get. Now, when it comes to routing, you have basically 3 options. You have a fixed base router, you have a palm router, and you have a router table. Now, there are other options like CNC routers and so on and so forth, but that's in another pay group. That's not going to apply to me. In any event, let's get started, talk about the different types. We'll start over here. This is a fixed base router. It's a Bosch router, the 1617. It's a really good router, highly recommended by a number of influencers. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so what you see is what you get here. Your fixed base router comes with a plate that goes up underneath it, and basically you can just use the handles and move around and route things, make grooves in wood basically. Another option is that you can use what's called, a plunge base. You remove the motor from here and put it into there. What the plunge base allows you to do is start up the router anywhere on the wood, and when you depress the button and push down, you can push the router into the wood. It has height adjustment so that you push down only as much as you want to, and so on and so forth. Great router. Another option is the straight edge router. So basically these rods extend into your router here, and then when you go down an edge, you can just follow the edge straight down, and the router will cut a nice straight mark for as long as you got these rods. The next option, which is my personal favorite, is a palm router. The palm router is a one-handed router. Of course, you can use 2, but basically you can grab this thing with one hand, and you can freehand, or you can follow edge guides, circle guides, templates, etc., etc. I would say that freehand routing is a very artful talent, and I wouldn't recommend that new people try to freehand anything unless you got a really steady hand. These routers are very powerful. A router's kind of useless if you don't have some other things. Oh, before I go there, my very favorite palm router is this DeWalt that I picked up. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm not advertising for them. I'm just saying what I like. But I like this one because it is fairly compact, it's easy to use, and there's good grip control. It's not overly top heavy. It's really, really good router for what I do. Now, a router would be useless if you don't have bits for it, and the bits are just unbelievable amount of variety. But you will find, you go out and you purchase one of these big packs and say, oh, I got every router I ever need, da-da-da-da-da. You're going to have router bits that you never use. So I would suggest do what I did. This is a very cheap set of Bosch router bits that gives you a wide variety. Do some work and find out which bits you prefer and which ones you go to. And once you do that, maybe drop a dime and get some decent high quality blades. These are white side router blades or router bits. And I have different types for different types of wood. Now, you take some of them, have a bearing on them like this. Okay, this is a bottom bearing, so that if you're trying to route off a piece, you can run that bearing right along there, and it will just make it completely routed smooth off through there. It's really nice. Opposing is the top bearing, which has the same function. You have a piece of wood here, and there's some hanging over down there, and you just want to trim it off, hence the name trim bit. One of my favorite bits, though, is what they call the chamfer. Okay, a chamfer will create a 45-degree edge, and if you can look here, this is what you end up with, is a 45-degree angle so that the sharpness is gone. Another bit that will do that is called a roundover. A roundover bit looks like this, okay? So a roundover bit, instead of giving you the 45-degree chamfer, will give you a rounded edge. So that, you know, tabletops, things of that nature, where you want the edge to be rounded. Now, that kind of gives us an introduction into routers, what they are. We're going to do a couple more videos. There's just not enough time in one video to do everything that you need to know about routers. So I'm going to go ahead and close it here. I do want to reiterate, I'm a hobbyist. Don't take my word for the solid gold. Go out there, do your research, and find out what works best for you. I do believe that a router is one of the most important tools that you'll add to your arsenal. They're very versatile. You can use them for a number of things. For instance, this piece that I'm making here, everything on here, the entire circle, was cut out and chamfered using a palm router. So, you know, that can show you some of the pretty things you can do with a router. So until next time, I want to thank you for watching. Come visit me on my Facebook group, Old Man with a Saw. My brother and I started this group some time ago. We only have a few users, and we're geared towards those who are just really getting into this thing, not necessarily those pros out there that you might see in other groups. Thanks for watching. Let me know you're out there. Say hi, maybe, you know, give a little thumbs up, or, you know, if you really enjoy watching my videos, subscribe to the channel. We'll have more coming for you. Thanks. You have a good day.